You didn't choose to leave. You were taken. A stranger guides you out the door, away from the person supposed to care. Watching your home disappear through a car window triggers a quiet internal migration. You leave behind the baseline assumption that an adult will always be there to catch you. That single drive shatters the foundation. Safety is no longer a given. It's a variable. From this point forward, trust carries a heavy price. You cycle through temporary houses, learning new rules from a rotation of women who eventually disappear. The foster system provides a bed, but it cannot manufacture a permanent attachment. To survive the rotation, the brain adopts a strategy of isolation. It systematically severs ties to temporary caregivers and builds a perimeter. Don't get comfortable, don't get close, and never depend on the people in charge. Isolated in this vacuum, the child becomes their own emotional parent. They take full responsibility for their own protection because, in their experience, no one else will. At school, the child's brain misinterprets standard guidance as a threat. When a female teacher offers direction, it feels less like instruction and more like an attempt to seize control. By 15, the quiet withdrawal of childhood hardens into active resistance. The protective distance now presents as attitude, defiance, and a refusal to acknowledge authority. The underlying trauma has updated its camouflage. The boy has grown, but the survival mechanism is simply wearing a more mature, more aggressive mask. At 18, the state mandate ends. The placements and the systemic safety net vanish. You are left navigating the world with the absolute certainty that you are entirely on your own. In adulthood, this ingrained isolation creates a pull toward unstable relationships. Unpredictable or manipulative dynamics feel familiar. Chaos feels like a home you recognize. This same reflex surfaces in the workplace. A standard request from a female colleague can trigger a cold, sharp response, a defensive strike against a perceived threat that doesn't actually exist in the present. This pattern is a single repeating loop. The reflex that protected you at age 8 is the same one firing at 15 and 25. A survival tactic from the past has become a destructive reflex in the present. It's easy to look at the frustration and the distance and assume it's a permanent personality flaw. You tell yourself, this is just who I am. Neurologically, the loss of that first caregiver is permanently mapped into the brain. It maintains a state of constant, guarded vigilance, waiting for the next abandonment. These defensive outbursts are an unconscious attempt to punish current relationships for the failures of the people who were supposed to stay decades ago. Anger, distance, and control are the components of a highly effective set of armor. This system kept you safe when you had no one else to rely on. We need to move past the question of why a person is like this. Instead, look at the severity of the trauma that required them to build such a specialized defense.